Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Hey, you. Ever feel like the world could use a little more, grandma wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Today's deep dive is all about that. The surprising power of just listening, of connecting.
Yeah.
And it all starts with this, simple idea. That turned into something truly special,
Right.
The grandma stand.
It's funny, isn't it, how this project, it just taps into this universal human need,
Totally.
that connection across generations.
Yeah.
We have this, almost automatic association with grandmas, right?
Yeah.
Warmth, wisdom, that listening ear, and the grandma stand. It captures that.
It does. Okay, so picture this. You get this 100-year-old firecracker, Grandma Eileen, connecting with people on the streets of New York City.
Wow.
From her living room in Washington State.
No way. That's amazing.
It really is.
See, that's what I love about it. That simplicity. It's not about, fancy technology or some polished, rehearsed thing.
Right.
It's just Eileen Eileen.
Yeah.
Offering advice, lending an ear.
And people were drawn to that. Students, people with their careers, even folks, experiencing homelessness.
Wow.
They just open up to her about everything. Career advice, you name it.
It's that thing, isn't it, that human need to be heard, to feel seen.
Totally.
And Eileen, she just had this way about her. You felt like you were the only person in the world when she talked to you.
Okay, so rewind a bit for us. Let's talk about the guy behind all this. Eileen's grandson, Mike Matthews.
Okay.
He's the one who brought this whole grandma stand to life. What do you think sparked that idea?
It's got to be one of those, necessity is the mother of invention situations.
Right.
Mike, he's a social media whiz, right? So he sees how much Eileen loves connecting with people. And he probably thought, why keep this to ourselves? This is amazing. He wanted to share her warmth, her wisdom with everyone.
And he found the perfect way to do it. It's so simple but brilliant. Webcam, a stand.
That's it.
Basically, yeah. It's like a virtual lemonade stand. But instead of lemonade, she's serving up life advice and a listening ear.
That's amazing. It really shows how technology, it can break down barriers, create these connections that wouldn't exist otherwise. Because, let's face it, the internet, it can be so fleeting, But this was different. This was real.
Absolutely. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Eileen's daughter, Janet, she plays a key role in all of this.
Yeah.
Keeping Eileen's legacy going.
It's like this beautiful passing of the torch,
Yep.
Janet takes on that same spirit, that empathy, that connection that her mother had, adds a whole other layer to this idea of generations connecting. It's like Janet being involved adds this whole other dimension to the grandma stand thing.
Right.
It's not just about connecting with any grandma figure anymore. It's about that specific legacy, that empathy and that way of listening that Eileen, she just embodied it.
Totally.
And now it's being passed down, shared, even within her own family,
And what's so great is you can tell it's not just an obligation for Janet. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
She's got that spark. When she talks about the project, it's that same genuine, I want to connect with you energy that Eileen had.
Exactly.
It's makes you think about those figures we all had,
Yeah.
Those natural listeners, the ones you maybe took for granted a little.
Totally.
How do we keep that alive in families and communities everywhere?
That's the big question.
And speaking of community, the grandma stand didn't stay a one grandma show for long, did it?
No way. It just exploded.
Right. He had this vision, this whole network of grandmas, and he made it happen.
It's incredible, isn't it, how much that resonated with people?
Oh, I know.
Grandmas from all walks, teachers, nurses, you name it.
Oh, yeah. I read this one story about this grandma, Carol. She was a librarian.
Aw, sweet.
And she was saying how she always loved connecting with people through books, obviously, right?
Right.
But the grandma stand, it was like a whole other level.
Makes sense.
She even started making little bookmarks with personalized recommendations for everyone she talked to.
Oh, stop it. That's so cute.
Isn't that the best?
It's like we forget sometimes, Older adults, they're this incredible resource.
Total.
And they're not just giving advice, they're sharing their life stories, how they see the world.
And think about the impact on the grandmas themselves.
Oh, for sure.
They're engaged. They're fighting off that isolation.
Right. They see that who they are, what they've lived, it matters.
Exactly. And it challenges all those, societal norms about aging,
Oh, 100%.
The grandma stand puts them front and center. It says, your value doesn't decrease, it just deepens.
Yes. It's like a giant, we see you, we hear you to every grandma out there.
I'll be honest, at first I thought it was a sweet story, heartwarming, but surface level.
Right.
But the more you dig in, it's so much deeper,
Absolutely. It's about connection, legacy, how these little acts can change everything.
It's funny, right? We're more digitally connected than ever.
Right. Totally.
But loneliness, that's a bigger issue than ever, too.
It's true.
And the grandma stand, it's like the opposite of that.
Right.
It's not about how many followers you have or whatever.
It's real.
It's human, connecting with another person for real, which I think we all need that.
100%. It's like that saying, sometimes the simplest things are the deepest,
Totally.
The grandma stand, it's like proof technology can be good. It can connect us in ways we never thought of.
Right. And it's not about replacing those real-life connections. It's more like broadening them.
Exactly.
Extending how far that support system can go.
And for the people talking to those grandmas, it's got to be amazing to tap into all that experience.
I know. It makes you wonder, what if we all thought that way a little?
Yeah.
The grandma stand energy, just listening more, being present, especially with different generations.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Right. Think about our families, our community.
It's all connected.
And it's already there, that wisdom, that connection. We just got to, tap into it.
I love that.
So, as you're going about your day, keep that in mind, a little bit of that grandma stand with you.
I will.
You never know who needs it. Just a listening ear, a little kindness.
The best advice.
And on that note, until next time, keep those connections strong. And remember, everyone's got a story worth hearing.